What's up, y'all? It's Mentally Ill Data here, and today I'm talking about something I just found kind of interesting, and I think it's one of the problems in skateboarding is that there's not many skateboarders that can even skate at the level that they do. So I'm just taking Street League as an example. I went to the Wikipedia page, and I'm going through some of these numbers. I am not including the women's, but I wanted to do a more historical one. So I actually just took the men's, and out of all the events on the Wikipedia page, I think that was like 45 or something. So 44, 45 events. I took all the numbers from them. I took all the skater ranks that I could. So as you see, sometimes it shows 8, or it seems like the newer ones it showed 8. So they'll go up to 8th place. But some of the older ones actually went to 21st place. So that actually might skew. I maybe should have only took to the 8th, but it is what it is, whatever. I'm just proving the point that there's not that many skaters that can even skate like this. So I dropped all these into an Excel sheet and I removed the women. So this is the Excel sheet I ended up with because of that. So I have 563 spots. So out of all the rankings they ever gave on that page in the men's, it's 563. Now they're in order, but you see there's some that are just spelled wrong. So this one is Luan Oliveira. I'm just going to go ahead and take that one out. So once you remove the duplicates and also get rid of like the spelling errors and such, there's only 70 people. Over a decade, there's really only 70 people that you typically watch. Now, I understand it's like a tournament, but for the top 8 and I guess top 21 in a couple examples, but for that to be such a small pool of skaters, it just doesn't make it very interesting, I think. And just to use it as a comparison, I don't watch football, I don't watch basketball, but there's 529 players in the NBA, like every season. So when you're watching that, there's a lot of different, relationships that you can look at. Like, how is this player gonna stack up against this player? How are certain personalities gonna get along? Even the draft. I mean, people talk about just the draft like it's great news when you're watching these things. It's like, oh, he went over to whatever team. That's gonna be really interesting. Another comparison piece is there's actually way more NFL players. So I just think there's not a big enough thing to consume. I mean, let's be honest. If you're a skater, there are barely any people even talking about it. I mean, we have like a couple podcasts, like maybe 2 to 3 podcasts. Then you have a couple commentators like myself, but I mean, I don't even know that there's more than 15 commentators on skateboarding on the whole internet. I mean, it's to the point, I am such a small YouTuber. I have no following. I am a complete nobody making video, like pretty much low quality videos from a spare room in my house in the middle of nowhere. And I'm somewhat known in the skate community. That's just a testament to how small it is. I mean, in any other realm, it would make no sense. If I started trying to cover basketball games, you think some of the bigger basketball channels would even notice me? Probably not. So I just think skateboarding in general is a niche, but I think the competition aspect of it is not going to get any bigger because it's just not interesting enough. There's no drama. I mean, Yuto's not talking trash to Nyjah Huston or anything. They just skate. They do pretty much the same tricks. I mean, sometimes you'll see a new trick in a competition. And I'm not saying they're not cool. I like them. I think it's really clutch when Nyjah comes in with a banger. And even though you've seen him do it 400 times, it's really hard to do. So as a skater, you can watch it and think like, wow, that was really exciting. But if you didn't love the craft, you couldn't fall in love with the lore, if that makes sense. I mean, there's people that watch baseball just for the stats. Like, they're stat guys. They just watch baseball, or they don't even watch baseball. They just keep track of the stats because they like to gamble on it or whatever. That'll never happen in skateboarding. There's not even really What are you going to count how many kickflips somebody does? So, yeah, I think that's partially the problem with competition skateboarding. There's just not enough people that can do it at that level. It's more of a performance art, and I don't know. Maybe it's just because those guys are the best, but I think it's just that nobody can even do that. I mean, if there's 70 people in Street League, I would bet there's not 1,000 people that can skate like that. I would bet it's like maybe 20 more people. They just get unlucky or flunk under pressure. But yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling a little too much. I'm going to turn the video off. But what do you think? Is it just too small? Because that's how I feel.